Hi YouTube. So I just made a video earlier about when I lose weight, and it kind of goes along with this video that I had been planning to make today or tomorrow anyway, so I thought I would go ahead and do it. So the video I was going to make is about our journey, like what your journey means to you. And I know for me, my journey means one thing, but for someone else, it may mean another thing. For losing weight, there are people that have been, average their entire lives, and then in their adulthood, they've gained weight. There's people like me that have been overweight their entire lives and are starting to lose weight now. There's people that gain weight in their teens. There's all different stories, all different paths, and everyone's different. But for me, this is kind of what my journey means to me. My journey means to me success, first of all, hardship, feelings, love, joy, definitely sadness, embarrassment, and encouragement. And I kind of have some words and a little bit of quotes for each thing to kind of explain why those feelings are important in my journey. Granted, there's tons of other feelings and thoughts I have about my journey, but these are the major ones. So I thought I would kind of highlight those. So for success is, I found this really cute little quote. Just when the caterpillar thought the world was ending, it turned into a butterfly. And I think that really says a lot for me, because I was definitely this little caterpillar, had been through a very hard childhood and never really came out of her cocoon. It was very shy and resistant to things, and I still am, but I'm getting better. And so I've really changed. I've really turned into this butterfly who wants to experience new things and who wants to live life, because before I wasn't living life. I had given up on myself, really. Even though I didn't want to give up on myself, I had given up, And I guess I just got to that point where that wasn't okay anymore. I wanted to live. And in whatever capacity living was to me, I wanted to live. And, sometimes you go through hell, and I've learned here recently, well, not recently, over the past 6 months, that even when you're going through hell, to get to the other side, you have to keep going. And dealing with past events is not easy, because one of the other words is feelings. And for me, all my life has been so numb, because food has taken such a forefront for me that, I thought I knew happiness and sadness and anger and fear and all these feelings, but I really didn't. There was just a middle, of how I felt. I wasn't really happy. I wasn't really sad. I was just okay. I was just in that middle. And now I feel feelings, and it's hard. You feel sadness, and it's deep within sadness that's you kind of feel like your chest is caving in, and and even happiness, I'm feeling what real happiness feels like, because I don't have food to mask those feelings anymore. Granted, I'm still an overeater. I will always, I think my entire life, always be an overeater, and there are times that I turn to food for feelings, but not like before in any capacity whatsoever, or the amounts. So I'm actually feeling these feelings that are strong and bold, and it's amazing how these feelings make you feel. And I have gotten to the point so many times where I'm just it's enough. I wish I could go back and redo the surgery and not have lost weight because I am tired of feeling. You know, not that I wanted to like hurt myself or anything. I didn't want the feelings to be as strong. Like I just wanted to be that middle point again. I just wanted to feel okay. And I think it gets better. I think once I've kind of learned what feelings feel like, I think it's getting better. It's still hard. It's still a work in process with therapy, but learning to actually sit with your feelings and deal with them, I think is the hardest part, because then you have to feel and you have to hurt and you have to just deal with those feelings, whether they're good or bad. And so yeah, feelings are a big part of my journey and still are, and I'm sure still will be for a long time. Hardships. You kind of have to learn that through each success, there's going to be hardships. You know, you're going to, through, you know, and from hardships come successes. And, you know, it's just like, even though the hardship of working at YMCA and substituting and stuff, that was a hardship. But now, look, I have one job and I'm making it. So through every hard spot, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So I've definitely dealt with some big hardships along my journey, with guys and with just family. I'm still dealing with family, and hoping that those hardships that I'm currently dealing with will turn into successes. Love and joy kind of go together, I think. And also joy goes through successes, because through successes there are joy. I can give kind of an example. Me and a couple of friends that were, that I met in my support group, we all went shopping, just like, you know, normal, like girl afternoon having fun. And I was able to fit into an 18, and we all kind of shed tears of joy together, and it was amazing, and it was joyful, and we had joy in my success because they had been with me through my entire journey, you know, starting out at 396, and one of the women actually had the surgery 1 week from me, and she actually was at like her pre-op thing at the hospital, and, you know, walked by and wished me luck on that same time, that day I was having my surgery, and, you know, told the nurse, oh, I would love to have her phone number and connect with her. And that's kind of how it started. So, love. Let's see. Life isn't about finding yourself. It's about creating yourself. And that's true for me, because through everything I've realized I don't really know who I am. Food was so my world for so long that I didn't know who I was. So instead of, at first I was like, oh, I got to find out who I am. I got to, find who the real Dana is. And the point is I don't need to find it. I need to create it, because obviously if I didn't know, then maybe I haven't created it. And maybe creating it is part of the fun. And also there's been sadness in my journey. With the hardships, there's sadness, and wanting to love who, there was sadness in wanting to love who I was and where I had came from. And, sadness goes along with embarrassment for me, because still to this day, I'm so embarrassed and sad to look at old pictures of me, and embarrassed to show people. And granted, I was still the same wonderful, intelligent, sweet person that I am now. Only I hated the way I looked, and I still hate the way I look, or not look now, but and I hated it back then, but I also hate it now, how I looked when I was bigger. And it causes me sadness that I let myself get that way, that I let my circumstances cause that to happen to me. And granted, in therapy, I've kind of learned that it wasn't all my fault. My family had a hand in it, and that's kind of how I survived. But you still feel the guilt of why did you do that? So in a way, it's like you feel guilty and you want to forgive yourself. So yeah, there's a lot of sadness. There's a lot of embarrassment, and the embarrassment isn't really the weight loss surgery. It's more of where I was then. So yeah, and the last one is encouragement. I kind of forget when I'm in a bad place or when I'm in a hardship to look back at my journey, because I did that the other day when I made my first video, and I was like, wow, your face is really changed. Like and that's encouragement. So I think even doing the small things to encourage myself are so important, because I have come a really long way, and it's hard for me to see that sometimes, but I think we all need to kind of take a look at it. And one of the quotes I have for encouragement is, don't be afraid to give up on the good to go for the great. And I think that kind of goes with talking about expecting these certain things to happen when we lose weight. We need to let go of those ideas, and those things are good, but we should also think about the great things. And when you stop chasing the wrong things, you give the right things a chance to catch you. And I feel like if we stop comparing ourselves to others, or worried about if we're on the right path, or are we at the right job, or this or that, if we stop focusing and worrying on so many things, then we can find the doors that need to be open. So anyway, these are some thoughts and feelings I've had along my journey, and that kind of sum up my journey in a nutshell, really. So what does your journey mean to you? What feelings have you had? What situations have you gone through? What makes you stronger? What are you still working on? And this is for people too that haven't had weight loss surgery but are just losing weight on their own, which I'm incredibly inspired by, because I so wish I could have been one of those to do it. So what's your journey?